Hey Libra, welcome to your September readings. I have actually already I started the video before and my son decided he wanted cats on, so I had to just pause and restart. So because I'd only just started dealing the deck, I figured we'll just start again so that I don't have to edit the videos. So I'm using a new deck for the keywords at the top. So anyone that knows and follows me, you'll know that I work intuitive. So yeah, this is a new deck, the Sacred Forest Oracle, and I'm loving them, and you are exploring them as I am, I suppose. And how I'm doing these readings is we have our keywords, then we have the energy that we're in, and then where we're going with that energy. I'm kind of loving how this flows. It is all intuitive. I kind of go with what feels right, and that just felt right for this month, and I'm loving it, so it may stick as well. So your first card, let's just jump right in. We have Daffodil, what is it? Daffodil Fairy. I'm loving that. New beginnings. Now we're coming into spring in the Southern Hemisphere. And I mean, I don't see many daffodils around here, but in the Northern Hemisphere, as soon as spring comes, those daffodils begin to grow, right? And it's kind of like it brings this new lease of life, not lice. And this is what I'm feeling for you, Libra, is there's this new lease of life kind of growing in you right now. I feel like there's all these possibilities blooming around you. And this is what I feel like for you. I feel like you're literally this fairy that's kind of soaring through her fields of daffodils, right? And I feel like that's what it is for you, that there's so much abundance growing around you, so much so that I feel like you can see it and you can feel it. And it's kind of bringing this brightness into your dynamic, kind of compared to maybe how the first half of this year was beginning to shape up. I feel like there's just a big switch. Now that's the energy in the air for most, like kind of universal at the moment. It is this switch this month where we're starting to see kind of insight into where we're going to be. You're starting to see things kind of fall into place. And this is exactly how I feel like this is for you. It feels like something has changed in your life that's kind of made you see the more positive side of things again, which is what you've been waiting for as well. We have the Four of Cups in reverse. And so, yeah, I feel like what you haven't been seeing for yourself in your life, and it's what you've wanted. I feel like you've been feeling disappointed with this, and your focus has been on what you haven't had. This feels like that's changed now. You're feeling really that you can see what you can have, and I feel like you really can see the possibilities of where you're going during this time. And this is the energy that you're in, and it feels hopeful, it feels insightful. I do get this sense of kind of it being all of a sudden, so as though it could potentially be overwhelming because there's a big change, but it's positive, so loving that. Where is this taking you? Okay, to the Five of Swords. So the five to me is a change. Something's changing, and again, a change of tides. I do feel as though, actually, I feel like though you're letting go of certain things, and this to me again, with what I just said, of how I feel like there's been disappointments, there's been people perhaps who have disappointed you. To me, this feels like you are in an energy where you're just dropping that, and it's like as though it's been a care for all this time. You've cared and cared and cared and cared. Now I feel like you are this one here who just doesn't care. You're juggling your own swords and focusing on your direction. This is the energy that's building with you with this change in tide. And I'm loving that for you, Libra, loving it. I do feel like this is going to bring in a clearer vision for you of where you're going as well. Because I am getting with this new beginnings of the Daffodil Fairy and this whole column, I'm feeling as though there's clarity here. Clarity is what you're gaining. Okay, so we have Mercury in retrograde coming from the 9th of September to the 1st of October. This is an energy that I feel has the potential to still bring a little bit of storm to your kind of daffodil world. And this is the storm spirit, chaos. Interesting. Let's have a look what this could mean for you. Okay, so I'm feeling like there's a masculine kind of energy here with this. In the clouds, there is, I don't know if you'll see the imagery, there is actually a man. How this is coming through to me is I feel like there may be some masculine energy, and to me it feels anger. It feels as though there's something angry aimed at you, and this could has the potential to cause a little bit of chaos for you. But overall, I actually feel like that's kind of beyond you, as though it is external. It's not something that is affecting and impacting your direct life. I do feel like all kind of you are in this kind of safe space and protected during this time, but it is also kind of just a kind of nuisance in the background. But the fact that its background feels like it's a positive spin for me. But be wary that this could cause a little bit of chaos in your world, being that, you know, you literally have Storm Spirit Chaos coming up as your keyword for this next column. So the energy you're in with this chaos, we have Three of Pentacles in reverse. So I definitely feel like this is a person, and I feel like it's someone that you have collaborated with before. And I feel like the energy it's putting you in is to be more cautious with who you collaborate with in future. So this indicates to me that this could be someone you've done a project with, somebody who has been worked with something close with you. So this could be family, this could be friends, but I really do see a work dynamic here. And if I'm thinking of my mother, Libra, I can really kind of apply that as well to where that could mean for her. And that is the sense that this is where the mindset's kind of taking me on this journey for you, Libra, is I feel like it's somebody who you thought was a team player. And again, this can be in a family dynamic. It could be relationship as well, because I can sense here that there's this kind of break of something, a break of trust. And that to me feels like this, with the Mercury retrograde being the planet of communication, is going to bring things to the surface that gets nasty. But I do feel like this is kind of part of their journey, and that's where this feels beyond you. It does not feel like this is meant for you, even though it's going to enter your life, if that makes sense. I think it's actually about to rain. Where this is taking you. Okay. So we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. So I feel like actually it's taking you on a different journey. And this is what the change is. I feel like this is actually kind of parallel. And this is totally different to how I've done the readings for others. But I feel like these are very parallel to each other. And they're like, I mean, and now I'm saying it, this is making sense. I mean, you're Libra, you're the scales. And it feels like this is the balance here. So I really could say that these two are dynamically kind of happening at the same time. They're parallel feelings. So you're on top of the world, but there's still this kind of cloud shadowing. And it's that balance here for you. So I do think when I say, you know, this is the energy where you've been in for the most part of the year, I feel like it's there, it's present. However, if you balance the scales right, we're in this new beginnings, this daffodils, right? We're in good energy. There just might be some rain to water those plants, you know, which is a good metaphor, I suppose, to have. So this Ace of Swords, I do think it's taking you on a different route. So I feel like ideas and direction that you've had, that's kind of halted right now and is not in your attention. And I think as well, that's what I'm getting here, is this whole column feels as though you are, and this is something I remember saying to you as well at the beginning of the year, you are choosing to turn a blind eye to things that you don't want in your life. I do feel like as I'm saying that, I need to say you can't just suppress things and hope it goes away, because that is not a healing act as well. And this is going to hinder your progress with this beginning, this being on top. At the same time, like I said, this Five of Swords energy does feel like that. Like you are rising above and you're just realizing that, you know, it's not my garden. I'm not watering it. But I do feel like there's attention there needed. And that's why Mercury in retrograde could come into use, realizing that perhaps completely ignoring it is not the best tactic for you to take. Who knows? I'm just here to tell you, read the cards, right? And the next card we have, weird, interesting. We have Thicket of Thorns, Uncertainty. And I really think this is really the underlining part of this, is I feel like you don't know how you're supposed to deal with this. And that's the whole point. Like, I feel like you don't know how to balance it, because I feel like you always do the right thing by yourself. But I do feel like because you have this dynamic of wanting to make sure that you also kind of make the best choices for everybody. It's not all about yourself. Even though I do feel like your drive is about making the right choices for yourself, I feel like it gives you this uncertainty because you also kind of want to be a people pleaser as well. And as I say people pleaser, I feel like you need to be conscious on that as well. Like, are you being a people pleaser? Is that why you are choosing to ignore it? Okay. Because I kind of think as well, in the kind of enlightened kind of world where we think that we're, making the best choices for everybody and being all this love and light, it has a toxicity to it that I think we all need to be wary of. And this is something that confuses me. Oh, careful, because we know sometimes by snapping at someone is wrong, right? But actually sometimes not snapping at someone is also wrong. And it's finding that healthy balance. And I feel like this is your confusion here. Like, what is being a bitch and what is being true to yourself and being honest, right? Because sometimes if we are being civil with somebody, and I am really kind of bad at this because I am civil to everybody, even if someone doesn't like me, I'm not going to be horrible to them because I just don't see the point in that. But then potentially I'm not speaking my truth, I'm not being really honest about being aware that that person doesn't like me, because they'll be none the wiser that I know they don't like me, right? But that's then suppressing your true emotions around the whole situation, around that person to a degree. And I feel like this is what this is for you, this uncertainty. It's like you're just unsure on how to handle situations, which is why you are taking the route of kind of avoidance and ignoring, right? Let me see what else we get this for you. I feel like there is somebody that may be able to help guide you in the right way. But this is transformative. This is kind of part of your journey and your path. We have butterflies in here, which do signify transformation. And I think this is something that you are actually, like, part of your life path is to figure out that balance. And so it's okay that you're going through this, is what I want to say. The energy that you're in with this is Judgment card, right? So this can mean that you are actually kind of really analyzing yourself and how you are, which is a great place to be in the healing process, because you're aware of, how this is affecting you. And I feel like you are very intuitive during this time with that. Again, we have a butterfly in here that's taking my attention. Transformation. So there really is growth and change here. And I am feeling change throughout your month for September for you. It's just change. It could be changing ideology, changing how you see things. There's just something that you're manifesting right now into your life that is creating, I want to say, positive change. So even though we have these levels of kind of shadow work within this, it feels as though this is really shaping things in a very positive way in your world. So where's it taking us, right? What energy is this leading towards? And we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. Interesting. This is very like whirlwindy for me. And there is a whirlwind in this imagery, and I feel like this is, again, it's just leading you towards kind of self-discovery, actually. Interesting. So I'm looking here. She's holding on close to what matters to her, is what I want to say. And I feel like that's what's changing in you. I feel like you really are ready to let go of what doesn't matter anymore, and kind of nurture what does matter most. So I do think these changes in your ideology, changes in the way that you're thinking, can be accepting things differently in a way that you haven't before. So maybe you are realizing that actually what you want in your life might be what you thought you wanted. Where you're going in your life might not be where you thought you were going. And I feel like this is the energy you're coming towards. Is like, it's kind of like an acceptance that you have changed and that you actually are willing to compromise, and you are wanting things very different to where you might have a month ago or at the beginning of the year. And it does feel like a very big time of reflection for you, really bringing in all of that wisdom from this year that you've learned so far, and being like, wow, if only I felt like this then, I could have got here quicker. But I kind of think you want to not be thinking like that. You've taken as long as you've needed to take to get to this point. But September is all about kind of building something into fruition, making it come into reality, and that's what this is. So trying to avoid those kind of thoughts of shoulda, woulda, coulda, okay, because this is part of your journey this year to experience this chaos, this storm spirit. Owl spirit, wisdom. So that is great to come after what I just said. And I feel like, yeah, you've built a lot of wisdom this year, and it's coming to transform you. There is butterfly wings in this imagery as well, a transformation, right? She has them blooming out of her back. She is this butterfly. She is bringing with her the wisdom of this year. I do feel like there's wise people around you, and I feel like you're surrounding yourself with wise people now, and this is a choice that you're choosing to make, is to kind of be conscious of who you're surrounding yourself with, and finding your tribe is what I want to say. Which we have 4 of Wands in reverse next, which is all about celebration. It is in reverse, so I feel like it's not a time to be kind of socializing is what I want to say. I feel like this is actually the time for you to be focusing on the things that are important, and it's kind of, I feel like this is not going to be a very sociable time for you, because I feel like you're going to actually have a lot on, a lot of things going on in terms of like work and money, perhaps putting down building blocks towards creating things in your world. But this is going to lead you to the energy of the world. So don't worry about not being too sociable, not having the time to do things that you enjoy, because I feel like this is all part of the process of getting you to that space where you can enjoy yourself. I am seeing house in this, and I feel like you're working towards something very solid for yourself, be it a house, a home, a family, something that is basically a foundation in your life. So it's important. So realize that you're prioritizing. So if you are not able to be as social as you want to be, because Libras are very social beings, I know that, that you're working towards something. So this is very important for your focus to be where it's at. Yeah, I feel like this is leading. So even though I do feel like September is going to be hard work for you, as in you are going to be working hard. So that can have this point of like, oh, what? Can't I just enjoy it? It's like, no, there's a reason for this, because then you'll be reaping the rewards. You're really working towards something this month. And yeah, it feels really great. I do want to say, be conscious of this storm spirit. I feel like it's just brewing in you. And I think that actually, as I finish this reading and come to the final kind of overlooking the whole thing, I feel like because you have a lot of hard work and you're putting in a lot of work this month, that could be the potential of where the storm spirit is lingering around you, because you're just tired and worn out. But I think that's productive for you as well, to get you that balance that you are craving and seeking for this year. So thank you so much, Libra. Thank you for being here. I hope this makes sense for you. Please feel free to comment below if you have any questions or just some insight on how this kind of applies to your life. I do love reading all those kind of things. And I'll see you next month. Thank you, guys.